Good evening, and it says I'm the chairman. I am not the chairman, all right? This is a regular meeting of the City Planning Commission when the petition and special land use or site plan approval request in which you are interested is called. Please come forward to the podium. Give your name, address to the secretary for the record. After the appellate's representations, others may comment. The meeting is videotaped, so it is important that one person speak at a time and the audience observe respect for the speaker. An affirmative vote of the majority of the members present is necessary to grant a petition. Special land use and site plan approval recommendations on all petitions made to the commissioners are then forwarded to the City Council. Are there any questions? If none, could the secretary call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Bland.
Present.
Commissioner Zwerko. Commissioner Faust.
Present.
Commissioner Clark.
Here.
Commissioner Lamar.
Present.
Commissioner Milne is excused. Commissioner Moore.
Present.
Commissioner Nash.
Present.
And Commissioner Ostash.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Okay. First order of business, second order of business is approval of the May 23rd, 23 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I have an amendment.
I was gonna say with the necessary corrections, but you beat me to it, okay?
I was present at that meeting. I'm listed as absent.
Any corrections, other corrections or additions? So we have a motion of approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
You should say with the correction.
Oh, with the correction. Okay, so do we have an approval of the agenda?
So moved, Moore.
Support Bland.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Go on to new business. This is public hearing, J230187, special use permit transfer marijuana retail establishment to 1724 East Genesee. Do we have anybody that wants to speak?
Is there a preamble to the
Oh.
public hearing?
Oh, yeah, the preamble?
Yes.
Told you I'm not the chair of this.
Okay, you're doing a good job.
Okay, we will now begin the public hearing to allow petitioners special land use permits or site plan approvals. The purpose of the public hearing is to address the commission with regard to the subject of the hearing, not other topics. Speakers shall address their remarks to the commission as a whole and not include individual commission members, city staff, or audience. The applicants whose application is subject of the hearing or their designated representative shall be the main presenter and be allowed 10 minutes for their presentation. Each additional speaker commenting to the subject will be limited to 3 minutes. Is there anyone here? No, that's not, that's the preview.
Is there anyone to speak?
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, you can just open the public hearing now.
Okay, so this is open to the public hearing now? Okay. Following the initial comment, ask the additional comments twice. Boy, that's how I got, that's me. I don't have my glasses, all right? I know. Okay, can now we move on to new business?
Yes.
Okay. The first item is J230187, special use permit transfer marijuana retail establishment, 1724 East Genesee. Is there anyone here to speak on this topic? Okay, please approach the podium.
Just say your name and address too, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Letitia Randall, and this is my business partner, LaQuanda Hoskins.
Hello, good evening.
And we are speaking on property 1724 East Genesee. Oh, my address, 5373 Lawndale Road, Saginaw, Michigan, 48604.
All right.
And for the public hearing, you do have to speak one at a time?
One at a time.
And then you could speak after her.
Correct. Okay, great, thank you. All right, good evening. My name is LaQuanda Hoskins, as we just mentioned. My address is 5912 Settlers Point Circle in Bettendorf, Iowa. As Letitia mentioned, we are business partners, and we are speaking on behalf of 1724 East Genesee, the project there, and we are proposing to open a dispensary in that location by the name of Bloom and Blaze. We plan on positively impacting the community through our social action plan, and so that entails our community involvement, our workforce development and growth, as well as the third, which is the safe and legal access to recreational marijuana. Our project entails at least 15 employees that we look to find locally in our community, and making sure that we are targeting those disproportionately displaced by the previous war on drugs. And so we intend to not only hire locally, but we also intend to train our staff on how to service, safe and legally service our community as it relates to this. So we do recognize there are a number of dispensaries in the area. Tish and myself, we both have roots in this community. My mom was born here, my grandparents lived here, I lived here for a number of years. And so we definitely have roots in the community, and we are vested members of this community. We have other businesses that we positively give back to our community through those businesses that are based right out of Saginaw, Michigan as well, and this business would be no different. I will turn it over to Letitia to speak to anything that I missed.
I think that it's important to mention and just reiterate what LaQuanda mentioned as far as us being natives of Saginaw. I know there are a lot of individuals who come in and try to capitalize off of our community. Born and raised here, my parents still live here. My husband and I live in Saginaw, and so we are just grateful for the opportunity to be able to present to you all and have bring a thriving business to Saginaw.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak on J230187? 3 times. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on J230187? Is there anyone else here that would like to speak on public hearing J230187?
I move that we close the public hearing.
Good. Do we have,
Second and more.
all those in favor?
Aye.
We have closed the public hearing. Is this time for discussion?
Need a motion?
Do we have a motion for discussion?
It should follow the language in your handout.
Pardon me?
The motion should
language.
follow the language in your handout, including contingencies.
I mean, the public comment part?
No, what
Recommendation.
she's referring to is the recommendation. The motion needs to include a motion to approve along with the 2 recommendations.
I'll make the motion. I move that the Planning Commission approve the special use permit to H&R Operations LLC to operate a recreational marijuana retail establishment at 1724 East Genesee, contingent upon the following: approval from the engineering department and the applicant successfully securing a business license to operate by the City of Saginaw Clerk's Office and the state.
I second it. I got a question.
Mayor Moore?
Bob, what building is this on Genesee?
It's on the corner of, I believe, Hartsuff and East Genesee.
Old 7-Eleven,
Oh, 7-Eleven.
across the street from the Twins.
Okay. I kept trying to figure out, where is this? Okay, okay. That's the only question I had.
Is there any other questions? So hearing none. Do we just vote on it now? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone not in favor?
Opposed?
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passed. Oh, you just give me the paperwork. The next item for the public hearing, oh, that's just, okay, is J230188. Consideration of the vacation of Congress Street from Niagara West to the endpoint, approximately 860 feet. Is there anyone that would like to talk on this topic, or this is staff?
I can introduce this. This is part of the public schools systems construction of the new high school. The high school building is being housed in the location where the Saginaw Arts and Science building is. Then the field house and football playing field will be located approximately where the Bean Bunny building was and then the mosquito control building. In order to move forward with underground utilities and relocation of some of the utilities, they need access to the right-of-way on Congress. They have a purchase agreement that's signed with the county, I believe, and so there's a due diligence period, and then it'll be a matter of when the mosquito control building will then be relocated to another site. Having said that, then, the public hearing is regarding the entire vacation. However, the actual vacation will probably happen in 2 steps. And the first would just be the first 246 feet from North Niagara to approximately where that Bean Bunny property is. And then the remaining would be once the mosquito control building moves out. So the recommendation would be, the public hearing is regarding the vacation of the street, and then the planning commission makes its recommendation to the city council. So then it would go to the city council with an ordinance to vacate.
Okay. So, is there anyone else that would like to speak on J23011188? Is there anyone else that would like to speak on J230188? Is there anyone else that would like to speak on J230188? Hearing none, do we have a motion? Or is it to go into,
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Do we have to have a motion for discussion now?
Yes, we need
Pardon me?
a motion to approve.
I would move that the petition for vacation of North Niagara, excuse me, of Congress Avenue, at the location indicated, and be approved and forwarded to the city council.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Questions?
Discussion.
I have a question for staff. In the brief description, it says that we're going to vacate the approximately 860 feet.
Yes.
But on the map, it's showing only a partial vacation of 246 feet.
Right.
And-
As I mentioned, it's going to be in two phases.
So we want to just do the 240.
You can do the whole thing right now.
Okay.
There were two maps with the communication showing each phase.
Mr. Chair. I have a question. Is this street not already closed?
No, it's public.
It's not? So where is it at? That's the dead end street, I thought.
Yeah, in between the Bean Bunny and Sasa.
Right.
But mosquito control still
It's still back there.
operates the building at the
I
end.
thought they moved.
Not yet. That's the
Oh.
intent.
Okay.
Okay, Commissioner Clark?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Was this, the entire 860 feet, has that actually been surveyed? And I only ask it because I want to make sure that it doesn't impact the future hopes for a circular trail around the riverfront. Make sure the North Niagara is not impacted in any way.
Yeah, that's the surveyed map that you're seeing.
It is a survey.
Yeah. But the circular trail, the river, front walk or whatever, river loop, that would typically be along the east side of Niagara.
Until it's actually set, though. I just
Right,
want to be as
yeah.
safe as I can, or
Right.
sure as I can. Okay, that's all, thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Now we're going to move on to public comment.
Just anything, just ask if there's any.
Is there anybody that has public comment? No public comment? We move on to old business. Who will comment on that? Will staff or anybody else?
There's no comments to be made. At the last meeting, you held the public hearing. You have a motion to approve on the floor. It was simply postponed until this meeting. So the
Oh.
motion to approve is there. At this point, it's open for further discussion and then the vote.
And likewise, you can go out of the agenda and request any information. We have a representative from the company here.
I make a-
That we hear the representative from the company.
It's a
A
motion to
second.
go out of the regular order
We're out
of
of the
business.
regular order of business in order to hear that.
Do you have support?
I support it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
So we would like to hear from the representative of J230185.
Good evening. My name is Nurse Naraha. I'm a project architect with Driven Design Studio at 117 West Michigan Avenue in Battle Creek, Michigan. I just wanted to talk very briefly about the project. It's an existing building that will be renovated and retrofitted. I believe it is a tire shop that is going to be a provisioning center. There will be an emphasis on local hiring. That is both true during the construction process and any sort of trades and subcontractors and so forth that would be needed, and for the actual operation of the facility. I'm speaking on behalf of the owner, but I believe the area is about 24 jobs. That is the goal at this moment. And then if I could just speak briefly about some of the architecture of the building, just broadly, this is a fully secured facility, you know, as all the others. No one under 21 may enter. It is a secured door. There are cameras in operation 24/7, making sure all inside and outside vantage points are covered. There is a slightly negative pressure held within the building to ensure that there is no kind of odor release, ensure that odor stays within the building, in addition to 2 carbon filters as a sort of layer there. And then to help that as well, and to just kind of clarify, there is no growing or consumption on this site. All the material, all the product, excuse me, is delivered to the site prepackaged, so that should also help sort of with any smells in the area there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Since you guys are out of the regular order, if you do have questions for him, you should do that now.
So be out of order, so we can't ask questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes, I got a question, young man. So, well, I'm sorry, that's not for you. It's for the city staff. Is that five?
Ask all the questions for him, then we'd go back into the regular order of
Okay.
business.
Well, I don't have any questions for him. Because of y'all.
I'll bring up, I think it was raised at our last meeting, the question of this being close to, if not adjacent to, a child care center.
But that's the same thing.
That was what raised the entire issue at the time. Do you know about that, sir?
The 500 feet.
That's not something I know of now. What I will do is I will verify the distance from the child care center and and make sure that it is in compliance with any sort of zoning ordinance, any language within the Saginaw City Code. I'll make sure that's compliant. We will do our best to make sure that's
The
compliant.
code doesn't, as I recall, our attorney indicated, the code doesn't address child care centers specifically as a distance issue. It was raised, though, at the last meeting under the provision for whether the approval would reasonably promote the use of land in a socially and economically desirable manner for those persons who will use the proposed land use or activity, for those landowners and residents who are adjacent, and for the city as a whole. That was the issue that came up in the last meeting. And as long as the commission has considered that issue, then whatever decision is made would be appropriate. But I think the commission needs to be aware that that is their duty to consider that.
And I appreciate that point, but I think you're having commission discussion at this point. So again, if there's any questions for this individual, this would be the time. Otherwise, we should go back to the regular order of business.
I agree. I just wanted to let him know where this came from, why the question was raised about the child care.
Would it be appropriate to speak on that, just briefly, or would that be kind of,
If you have a comment on it, certainly.
Okay, just to address some of the issues there, like I had mentioned, no one under 20 is allowed in the facility at all operational hours. When one enters the facility, they enter a vestibule first, and then there's a security guard there who checks IDs before you're even allowed to kind of begin the process. So while I do understand the concern with adjacency, there wouldn't be, you wouldn't even be able to get through the front door. And then there is no consumption allowed within the building or within the parking lot in addition to that, so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, we have a question.
Commissioner Lamar?
Okay, I have another quick question. You stated that no one under the age of 20 is allowed into your building.
21.
Did you say 20 or 21? Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Thank you so much.
I move we go back to regular order of business.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So with this,
Now we open for discussion, right?
Correct.
okay,
I have a question for the city. Is this 500 feet from the other establishment that's like a block and a half away, 2 blocks away?
Yeah, it's way more than that.
Okay, I'm asking.
There are no childcare centers near that or other marijuana establishments.
No, there's a child care center right on the corner. There is a daycare in the back. It's a Beauty Barber daycare. It's a daycare in back of that.
at Ruckle and,
Right.
Ruckle and Genesee.
Approved it.
Right.
Ruckle and Genesee.
So there is a child care there, but I was more
Okay.
concerned about the other business. Are they 500 feet apart? That's what I.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
You see it? It's is it 2000, is that the name of It's a barbershop, it's a beauty shop, barbershop, and in the back of it
Daycare.
is a daycare
It's right at the corner of,
that's operating.
it's Ruckle and Genesee.
So it must be Little Scholars Child Care Center?
Yes,
Yes.
yep.
And then for this, I mean, Child Care Center's back here.
Okay.
Want to look at a map, the Child Care Center, I mean.
Is it
It's
the
down to the corner and back around.
is there a proper distance is the question, isn't it?
I don't,
There is
No,
no
for
distance requirement for childcare.
and if I could speak, there's gonna be one opening, a child care center in the backyard of the old 7-Eleven on, State Street. I mean, they butt
Yeah.
property lines.
Yeah, just to tag on to your comment, Commissioner Nash, because that was a child care center before, and then the dispensary's coming in, and now it's going to be a child care center again, so. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
And the child care center used to be a bar before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daisy Dukes.
Okay. So at this point, do I have to say it 3 times again?
No,
Huh?
no, you have to ask if there's further discussion or
Is there any
questions.
further discussion on this topic?
Just want to comment, I'm not necessarily opposed to this, but the issue for me is that the commission consider whether the proposed use would promote the use of the land for any childcare center that's reasonably nearby. I guess I'm okay with it. I don't think it's seriously impacting it, but it is something we have to be aware of and should be considering these in the future.
Yes. Commissioner Ostash.
Just a comment on that too. I live over by Hoyt and Genesee. I live right by a dispensary. Soup Kitchen is right next door. We have Great Lakes Bay Health Center right next door. I mean, there's never been a problem. It's been pretty quiet. I think we see more activity from a liquor store than we do a dispensary in my observation of the city, so I'm for it.
Any other discussion from the commissioners? Call for the vote.
Waiting on you?
Go.
Do you want me to do a roll call vote?
Do we need to do a roll call?
No, well, see how the first
Yeah.
vote goes, and that
Okay.
determines it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No need to call for the vote. No roll call.
Motion to adjourn? Or there is something else on this?
Wait, do we have a motion to adjourn after all the paperwork's signed?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.